Do we always have purpose when we're addicted to drugs, when we're in jail, when we're at the bottom of life's rung? Do we have purpose? Do we have something inside us that's driving and wanting more out of us? Maybe. I think that's what this show is all about. It's purpose under pressure, and you're going to meet purpose under pressure personified. Chef Todd Whitman is next. Well, the heat is on. Let's get cooking. This is Purpose Under Pressure. It's a podcast about people just like you, just like me, that wake up in the morning, swing our legs out of bed, put our feet on the floor, and get after it. And then it's about the pressures that kind of rise up to try to knock us down. That's what this show is all about. This is season 7. Folks, season 7, episode 1. I'm amazed that it's happening. I'm also blessed that it's happening. And if you've been here before, thank you from the bottom of my heart for making this a reality. If this is your first time, maybe you haven't subscribed yet, do so. Feel free to do so. We're on LinkedIn. We're on YouTube. We're on just about any place that you might find your podcast. So if you don't mind doing that, letting everyone know this show is worth watching, I'd really appreciate it. Purpose Under Pressure, again for season 7, is brought to you by Sandler by the Ruby Group, serving sales professionals nationwide from their Akron and Columbus, Ohio locations. They're also in Jacksonville, Florida. It's sales training. It's business growth. They're doing it right. They're doing it on purpose. They're doing it well. And they are one of the highest performing Sandler sales training affiliates in the nation. When I say one of the, I mean top 2. And that's pretty awesome. So if you're looking for some folks to help you do your thing well, which is sales and revenue development and things like that are going to help your company grow, Sandler by the Ruby Group is where you ought to check out. You can do so on rubygroup.sandler.com. And so again, welcome to our show. We're all about overcoming hurdles and pressures. And our guest today is my friend, Todd Whitman, Chef Todd Whitman. He's the executive chef at Serenite Culinary Institute in Medina. He's so much more than that. And we're going to learn more about that next. Welcome to the show, Todd.
Thank you. It's an honor and a blessing to be here.
Well, I know it's a blessing. I know how you are. And I know we're going to talk about that today. I know you've been through the ringers. I know you've not only come out on the other side, but you've come out on top. And not just you, but others that you serve and your family. And I think all of those things can't be left aside. We talk about success a lot. Man, partner, you've done it in so many more ways than just what maybe we typically think about success. So before we even start, congratulations on just a life well lived, my friend.
Thank you.
So let's talk about that. Todd, tell us a little bit about what you do. Tell us a little bit about the Serenite Culinary Institute. Talk to us about what's great, because I know the restaurant has just really been killing it as far as everybody says.
Absolutely. So what I do is I'm the executive chef at Serenite Restaurant Culinary Institute here in Medina on 538 West Liberty Street. So I'm the executive chef at a French restaurant. I've been here for 6.5 years. I was under a French chef from France named Guillaume Brouillat for almost 2 years. COVID hit. He left. I took over, blew the door open, never looked back. It took full advantage of the opportunity that was given to me, and I earned it. And just working really hard on myself and to be creating dishes. And it's the purpose, helping others. I'm in recovery. I have 9.5 years total abstinence. August 17th of 2015 is my clean date. Changed my life. And I'm just blessed. I get so many opportunities and so many really cool things to get involved with in the community and with the other top chefs in Northeastern Ohio. Not only just in the restaurant industry, just in the communities, doing so many selfless things to help others. It's really, really cool. I got like the best job ever.
So let's talk about that job a little bit. Tell me a little bit about the purpose. You mentioned the purpose and you mentioned your history, but talk to me about the Culinary Institute. Why does it exist? Who does it serve? We know people love to eat there, but there's a lot more than that going behind the scenes, right? Talk to me about that.
Yeah, the core of this program. So we're a culinary school for men and women in recovery. It's a 6-month program. We feed them
in recovery from drugs, alcohol. Is that what we're talking about?
Yes. And, if they're duly diagnosed too, if they have some mental things going on, so we work with those type of folks that, need a second chance, that have gotten to some troubles with alcohol and drugs, and, being incarcerated. And so, they get an opportunity here. A lot of our students come from drug court, jails, sober living, and they get an opportunity to be around folks like myself that have been in their shoes. And, we don't judge them. We're here to build them up, not tear them down. And so they get into our program. And there's so many resources here. It's not just about the culinary school or the restaurant. It's help people changing their lives, giving them resources and giving them different opportunities and ways to have growth and to mature in their life, young or old. It took me a long time myself. I didn't change till I was 35, and so just having those opportunities and those resources, to give to them. I teach Serve Safe. I'm a Serve Safe instructor, proctor, CPR instructor, proctor. I teach, the culinary skills steps, from culinary math to, how to use a knife, how to break down whole fish, how to set up a line. But the main thing is, giving them some structure and some rules, during the day, just learning how to show up, every day and on time. And then when they come in, every day is different. Every individual is different. We all go through some things, and I can spot it right away. I'm an observer. I observe everything that goes around me, and we take the time, the team here. There's no I in team. We take the time to talk to them, whatever's going on, and, let us help you while you're here, because 6 months goes so quick. And when you get out there into the work world, things are hard, and it's learning how to deal with those situations when those things happen, to face adversity, to not, bust your tailpipe and it explode. How to make good decisions and put yourself around good people. That's the key.
And see, I want to talk about that a little bit, because that's your goal and that's your mission. On day one, some of these folks might not be there yet, right? They're in recovery. They're in the program. They're working on it. And so I want to talk a little bit about the experience, the customer experience, whether there's ever any, wait a minute, what do you mean recovery and felons? And before I get there, I'm interested in your story. Did the Culinary Institute help you in your life overcome? Were you in that position? And is that how you were able to grow into where you are today?
So just real quick, so when I was 35, when I got clean and sober, I just got out. I did 2 years of prison. I was living off of 93rd and Miles. My wife and kids went to the homeless shelter. And when I got out, I was messing up. I didn't do anything incarcerated to help myself to build, to make better decisions. And then when I got out, I went to my parole officer and I said, hey, I have an issue with alcohol and drugs. It's always been my problem. Can you get me help? They got me into treatment, into Community Assessment Treatment Center in Cleveland. So I went through treatment for 5 months. I got into the Edwin's Culinary Program on Shaker Square. And there, it was a 5.5 month program, changed my life. It was the first time that that I was actually paying attention, working hard, focused, and not having other things sidetracking me, or those illusions of false life and false promises. And so I was like, I can do this. If I work hard and surround myself around good people, I can change. I could be successful. And I held on to that. And then graduating from Edwin's, I worked at Parker's downtown Cleveland on East 9th under a great chef named Andrew Gorski. And I cooked for a lot of cool people. Everybody, I treat everyone like VIP, but Matthew McConaughey, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, LeBron James, I did a big thing. We did breakfast.
So that program was like Serenite's program. You went through that program and taught you this one, right? Is that what you're saying?
So Edwin's is a second chance culinary school for convicted felons. And so our program is a second chance culinary school for men and women in recovery. But it goes with it. Alcohol and drugs go with crimes and people who've been incarcerated. Yep. We're just more in depth, with the addiction part, which is really cool. And so so when I went through Edwin's, and then graduated and then got a job, I had this new way of life, and then my wife got in recovery, so life started getting better, and so I was there for 2.5 years. I strive to be the hardest working person in the building every single day. And then when the Medina courts got this going, they got the program going here. They called Brandon Kostowski, the founder of Edwin's, asked him if he would come out here and start the culinary school up and get the people in place, to teach and run the restaurant. And so I went through his program. He knew I was serious about my recovery and my career. Chef Andrew gave me a phenomenal work ethic, reference. And so, they called me and said, hey, what do you think about, training under a French chef from France and learning how to build menus and run a restaurant? And the main thing is, help people in recovery. And they explained to me, who this place was and what they do. And I was like, man, this is like the coolest stuff, man. I could go around, be around people that, are fighting through adversity on a daily basis and looking for the things that you normally can't get into a workplace: compassion, understanding, and those things, really hit me hard, and I was like, so I took the chance, left from Parker's. It was a great job too, and came out here, and, I'm grateful that I did. And I was in no hurry to be the executive chef. It is hard work.
Mm-hmm.
Jobert went on vacation for 3 weeks. The first year I was here, he went to France. And when he came back, I had the utmost respect for him, because it's not about just, slapping food on a plate. It's managing people. It's taking care of, the building and the ordering, and so that's a lot, to balance out. And so, I learned a lot. And then so I was under him. And then when COVID hit, he left and went to another French restaurant, and I took over and just took the opportunity, and I still worked just as hard as I did when I got the executive chef position, because I'm very humble and grateful. Things don't last forever, and I still tell all the folks, the students and staff here, everybody's replaceable. And the moment you think that you're not replaceable, you will get replaced. So, if you show up every day and you work hard and you're honest, chances are you're going to be successful, and you're an asset to a company. And when you become that, you have value, and that's a lot of the things that we teach here are values and core and moral values here, and those things will take you anywhere you want to go in life. And that's important. That's huge. That's the biggest purpose here is giving people those life skills, on the hand job training and the recovery resources that we have in our recovery center next door. That's in the building next to the restaurant, so it's a plethora of a lot of cool things that are going on.
And let's talk a little bit about the restaurant. Let's get back to the question I have, because you mentioned it. You said, man, it's really hard. You got to manage people and all these things. Well, you're managing people that can't get work elsewhere. Like they've got issues and things they're trying to overcome. And you're not just running a restaurant, you're helping to rebuild lives and build a path for them to kind of take off and do their thing. And I'm wondering, does the audience, you mentioned LeBron James and these big names does the customer worry about the idea that former felons, recovery, those aren't things you normally think about when you go out to a fine dining establishment?
Yeah, it's pretty cool how guests come in here. Half of them know and the other half don't. But we're so down to earth here,
Yeah.
and we teach the students to pay attention to detail and steps of service, and being professional and respectful at all times. And when the guests come in, they're just blown away of the attention to detail of the service that they get walking in the door. Because when you walk in, those are the first that you see: the host, then you see the students, and then you see the servers. That right there, sets the tone, and just folks are just blown away, and they can't believe that, the professionalism and how they handle a table and how they talk to guests, and they're understanding too. And everybody's not perfect. And so when they come in, you might get a new student that just started, and then they come back in a month or two and they see the growth and the maturity of the student, like learning the menu, how to take the menu, how to do the courses. And it's really helping them get that experience. And they know that, and not toot my own horn, but we've won a lot of awards,
Yeah.
we, it's just, it's
quality
outstanding.
type awards, not just for the purpose, but actual
No.
food against restaurants that are competing for taste and flavor. You guys are coming out on top.
Yeah, and it's a team. There's no I in team, and I stress that, and I tell that to the whole crew and family here. Like everything that we got award wise, it's for all of us. It's not just me. It takes every moving part for us to be successful. And I won local chef in the Cleveland Magazine Silver Spoon Awards 2 years ago. We won best French, fine dining, Southside restaurant, wine, appetizer. We've won plenty of different awards on Open Table. In the last 6 months, we won two for best on Open Table. Yelp. I mean, the awards come. You put them on the wall and you keep it moving. That's not the big thing here. The big thing is providing that excellent service for the guests when they come in, and they're supporting a great organization and a purpose here. Once they find out about that, they're just blown away. They're like, wow, how can we help? How can we get involved, by supporting the restaurant, coming to our fundraisers? And we have folks that come here and run classes. We have like parenting classes, GED, financial classes. There's just so many different types of classes, nutrition classes, and folks get involved, and they really get to see the nuts and bolts of the program. And it's not just the restaurant, it's help changing people's lives.
And I will tell you this: you told the story about not knowing. I've been around Serenite Restaurant and Culinary Center quite a while now, but the first time I went, I didn't know, and I had the very best experience. I mean, the first time I walked in the door, it was as unexpected. It was white linen tables, and it was the most amazing food. I remember you walked to the table and said you need to try the sea bass, and I did, and it was just ridiculous how great it was. And then I found out the purpose later, and I'm here to tell you, it was the best dining experience I've ever had. Now, I have the follow-up question. Why go to those levels of excellence? Why not just fast food or burgers? I mean, teaching people how to show up on time and do what they say they're going to do. You can do that for a lot less. You can do that with a lot less stress. Why go for this level of excellence that Serenite goes for?
Well, I think there's a lot of passion, that I have for food, and for me, my recovery and my passion
Interesting.
for culinary, it goes hand over fist. It works with each other, and I put all that
Why is that?
energy into the
Why
food.
is that? Why do they go together?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you. So
Yeah.
mentally, in my head, when I used to be in active addiction, I used to put so much effort into, the alcoholism and the disease of addiction. And when I got clean, I always loved to be around food, and I was like, I could be successful. I can be the best person that I can be and have a career. So why not put all this effort into passion into something positive and that makes people happy? So just like how you came in and you had that experience,
Hmm.
that's what I want to give on every single dish. And I tell the students and staff that if you don't put love into that dish, the guests will know. You put love into that dish, the guests are going to know, and they're just blown back. And so, it's very therapeutic with me with food. How creative can I be? Can I take something that other people are not doing and make it marvelous and tasty and delicious, and it just wows people? And I teach that to the staff and students here. Everything that we do here, they learn how to do. So there's no secrets with me. I'm an open book. I show them because I can't help them get a job after they graduate if I don't show them this stuff. And it's just so satisfying when I talk to guests and they're like, "Oh my gosh, this was like the best dish that I had," and the experience, not just with the food, the service, the food, the ambiance. It's all got to work together. And there's nothing better to bring people together than food. And it's something that we all have to have on a daily basis is to eat. And just putting that together and doing it in an excellence manner, and putting passion into it. And you could go anywhere in the world, with food, and once you learn this skill set, it could take you as far as you want to go. And set the bar so high. I'm always setting the bar higher and higher and higher. I'm not going to plateau. because if I stay still and plateau, it's time for me to do something different, so it's very inspirational. I could keep creating different stuff, keep doing different stuff, keep showing people different stuff, and learning too as well, keeping an open mind.
But so let me dig into this a little bit more, because this is what are we in the 80th episode of these, and the podcast before this was 100 more, all with business owners or leaders who were trying to do something great. But none of them, I had a couple were homeless, a couple had tragedies. None of them were recovered addicts. And I'm interested in, because there are people right now that are just skating by and they're happy. They're going to show up to work. They're going to go home. Life's good. And there's nothing wrong with that. There are a few people that go above and beyond and search for excellence. What was the trigger for you? You mentioned getting out of jail. You mentioned your wife getting clean. What was the low point that said, man, Todd, I'm just not going to live. I'm going to live well? Because there's one thing to get through addiction and through recovery. There's another thing to take it to this next level that you've done. What was the trigger?
Looking at the typical salesperson, everything they do day in and day out, if we simplify all of that and really boil it down, they have two superpowers. First superpower that salespeople have is how they behave. Second superpower they have is what they say. As a seller, we only have two problems. We either said something or did something that we should not have said or done, or we didn't say something or do something that we should have said or done.
Because there's one thing to get through addiction and through recovery. There's another thing to take it to this next level that you've done. What was the trigger?
I really think from all the hardships I put on myself and all the incarcerations, I've done 6.5 years from a juvenile to an adult. I have 8 kids, 4 boys, 4 girls, but the biggest thing is how I felt inside, and I let everybody down. I let myself down first and foremost. And so, once I addressed that, I needed help, and I came out and said that, I was just so determined to be the best me and to put 120% in every single day and strive myself to be the best. I tell myself every day, I am the best chef in Ohio. I believe that, because if you don't believe in yourself, who will? And if you believe in yourself, and if you believe it, you can achieve it, and I told myself that, and I had people, and I heard some outside noise when I became the executive chef here, like, oh, he doesn't have an experience as executive chef. He's not going to make it. Guess what?
Hmm.
I got my opportunity, and I just put so much effort into passion and everything that I did, not just with the food, but being, I had to learn how to be a good manager, and how to communicate with people. Cause now I'm at this bar, I'm set at this level now, where I'm in charge of everything, and I had to learn, to communicate with people, to get them to work better and to get them to see things without yelling at them. I've worked under chefs where they scream and yell, and it's real, but not here, not me, because I'm very empathetic and I understand what people have gone through. So just the self drive and everything that I put myself through and my family, and then how I felt, I was like, life's not supposed to be this way. And I made some choices to make myself feel like this. I held myself accountable for my actions. So that was really the big tip of the iceberg. It was like, I had to own up to my own crap. I had to be honest, and for me, I was working with, my sponsor and my spiritual advisor, and developing a relationship with my higher power. And it's all these things that I have to have a balance of. And, I knew every day, I've had everyday greatness. I say this to people, God blesses us with beautiful gifts on a daily basis. It's up to us to open them up, and I don't want to forget how hard it was when I was homeless and we didn't have anything, and how I felt, and that's why I keep doing what I do and giving back into the community. People say, oh my gosh, you're into so much stuff. Yeah, because you know what? There were so many great people on my journey that helped me, and I needed that in that moment to help me get to where I am now. People are in your life for seasons, for reasons. I grow some people and they go, but at that point, you needed that to hear that motivation, to hear that leadership, to hear that inspiration, that you can, and don't let nobody tell you that you can't. Just for somebody like myself, I don't let those bad decisions define who I am. I have a beautiful life today, and I have companies, Fortune 500 companies, reach out to me. I mean, they flew me out to California last year. I was trying to raise $1 million. I met Team Tebow at this gala. That's how beautiful my life is, and that's how beautiful life can be for other individuals that are struggling, that have had struggles, and it's up to them. It's how much work are you going to put into it? The things are not going to fall in your lap, and it's not going to happen in a day and a year. I took the bus for the first 2 years that I got clean. I didn't, it wasn't trying to, hurry up and get the car and have all these, nice things. No, I knew that I had to work really hard and to really, manage money and just learn about myself in life, and to, work hard for it. Because if it would have came easy, I wouldn't be grateful for it. It wouldn't be, life is kind of funny. It made me appreciate all these things that I work for. And, and I don't take those things for granted, so.
Hey Todd, one of the roles of a host of a show like this, the easiest way to do it is to kind of anticipate that what the answer is going to be before you ask it. But I'm going to ask you a question now that I do not know what you're going to say. You've got your wife that I know you love. You've got your 8 kids. You've got yourself. So you got your family. You got yourself. You've got the restaurant and all of the great things that have accomplished there. You've got the people that work there, the folks that are in recovery, that are off to better lives because you were a part of it. You've got all these things that you are doing. What are you most proud of? Yourself, your family, your people that you serve at Serenite, the restaurant. What means the most to you?
I mean, definitely myself, and my family. I'm just so grateful to have a beautiful family. And I'm so proud of them. My daughter graduates from Baldwin Wallace this May. My other daughter graduated from high school. She's in Tri-C. She's getting her associate's degree here in the summer. My 16-year-old, he's in Polaris Culinary School. And I was stunned that he picked culinary. Me and Mom were just like, just get a trait, pick anything. He picked culinary. I couldn't be more happier. The spirituality and the relationship that I have with myself today is just so beautiful. And I get to share it, first and foremost with myself and my family. And I get to do it at work. It's very special. And I'm the more I be selfless and do for others, the more I receive today. I can understand that. Back then I couldn't. I was always trying to beat somebody out of something, and I never got ahead. And today, I've realized, like, this is my purpose in life. If I could take care of myself, my health, my body, and do things, for my recovery, then I'm able to help take care of my wife and my children. And so they have a better life, and I'm able to be a good boss here. I'm able to be a good recovery coach, and then I get to help impact other people's lives, and that's
Do you have any idea? Do you have any idea of how many people you may have helped positively, Serenite and the Culinary Institute?
I would probably say hundreds.
Yeah,
Not only
right.
just students,
And
but
their families and all these positive things that you guys have done.
yes, it's a change.
Wow.
It's a cause and effect. It's
Yeah.
not just the student. When the students graduate and when their families come, the whole place gets packed up here.
I've
There's
seen it.
70 folks up here. And they're just so touched. And that's what especially in addiction does. It affects so many people. It's not just ourselves. And they're just so proud of their family member, and that's in the community, and it's just a trickle down effect, when you can help somebody get out that rabbit hole, I'm not the answer. I'm just, God's got me in this position just to help people, be that beacon of light at that moment for them, and help guide them. So, a lot of people, and it's touching not only just guests, and guests come in, they're affected. They're like, oh my gosh, I've given
Yeah.
my number and talked to family members from guests, and help them get into treatment centers. I'm actually a board member now of Community Assessment Treatment Center. I'm actually
Oh,
on two
really?
boards. Yeah.
Good for you, Todd.
Yeah, like life's really busy. But that's what it's about, just helping people getting the resources to get the help, and if I just helping them.
And so let's talk about the pressures that could be coming, maybe with the Culinary Institute, maybe in society and in general. What can people do to help or to be involved or to help overcome? What do you see as the main pressures coming along to make your job harder, to make life a little tough that you're going to have to overcome? And how can people come alongside you to help kind of get that done?
Can you say that again? I'm sorry.
I'm interested in the future. What hurdles and pressures you see coming that you're going to have to figure out a way to overcome, and maybe even ways that people can come alongside Serenite and help you with that.
Well, on a personally or professional level, I can hit it on both.
Either way.
It's
One
been
thing I see is the society is getting harder and harder, and I think there's more and more drugs and there's more alcohol and there's issues there. I also see inflation as being a real hard thing to kind of manage and keep the restaurant going in a great way. I just think there's a lot of pressures in your line of work, and I'm interested in what some of those future ones might be.
Yeah, there's definitely, pressure, and I don't talk about this, too much, but there's a lot of pressure, and the way that food cost is, the way inflation is, everybody, not everybody. Some people think about, hey, you're running a restaurant, it's just the food cost and labor. No, you're taking care of the building, you're taking care of the taxes and the things that people don't know that you have to pay.
Hmm.
It's a lot, and to find different ways to get people to donate money and to do fundraisers, and to get guests in here to keep doing different things that
Hmm.
normally people wouldn't come into our restaurant. I just keep doing different events, always promoting, being on Fox 8. We were just in the Akron Life magazine, so the Chilean sea bass that you ate got featured
Yeah.
in the Akron Life magazine two
So
months
good.
ago.
So
uh,
good.
so just always looking
Maybe the
for.
best thing I've ever eaten, Todd. Honestly, I remember it like it was yesterday, and it was almost 3 or 4 years ago. I think it was so good.
Yeah, so for anybody out there, Akron Life magazine, look it up. The picture's there. That was
Wow.
the center picture. They asked me, "Hey, is there a dish we could feature on you?" And I said, "This is it." A lot of guests have been asking me, put it on the menu, so it's on the menu. Uh,
Awesome.
just you know, a lot to process, a lot to go through on a daily basis, but just keeping the hope and faith, and trusting in myself, and trusting the people that I'm around. At the end of the day, I put in 100%. I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but I know today I'm being honest and giving them my all and trying to help people, and things are going to work out the way they're supposed to work out. uh you know and all I know is if I just keep doing what I'm doing, putting 110% in every day, being honest, and being a good person, and leading by example, that whatever happens, that I can affect other people in their lives, even if it's not a student, even if it's a guest, even if it's some lady that I open a door for up in the community, or doing something good, that I'm doing the right things, and that doing the right things equals happiness, because that's basically why I really got cleaning started, because I wanted to be happy with myself and be okay with myself, and I found myself today, and I'm okay with it in my skin, and I know no matter what happens, career wise or whatever is going on, as long as I'm taking care of me first and doing the right things, that I'll be able to face the adversity that's coming way. And it's been a lot of adversity in the last 2 months, to be honest.
Okay.
My wife had two surgeries in the past couple weeks. And that was really tough,
Okay.
and but just being there for my family, I'm grateful that I'm able to be there for my family and help take care of them and do the things that are supposed to be done.
Final question. You've been through a lot. You said it yourself. Things happen for a reason. The fact that you're sitting here today is because you went through the things that you went through. That's who you are. If you had a chance, would you change anything about your life?
No, because, first and foremost, we can't. Second of all, I've thought about this in the last couple years. I had to go through all those things to manifest into this beautiful person that I am today. And if I didn't go through those things, I wouldn't be who I am today. And so, for me, that is a learning curve in life, and learning how to live on life in the face of the adversity and face these things, things that happen, you know, happen. And it's like, what kind of decision am I going to make when these things pop up? Am I going to revert back to the old person and pick up a drink or a drug, or, yell at somebody? I've learned that, and it's not just like with addiction, because there's people that are clean and sober that can not be the nicest people, and I've learned over the years to work on myself to be a better me. And so at the end of the day, just this beautiful transformation that has become from going through all those things, and processing those things. I can process a lot now, and I could share through those experiences. I get to help other people. So no, I wouldn't change. Yeah, what I would like to. Yeah, of course, everybody,
Sure.
in their life would like to change some things, but, I accepted, those things that I've done. I accept who I am today. And now I'm just putting the effort into, making the good out of the bad, and that's positive,
Yep.
Get rid of
You're
the
an
negative, be in
inspiration.
the positive.
You're an inspiration, and I hope everybody can understand what you've been through, what you've overcome, what you are doing now, and what you're going to be doing in the future. Just you on your own and through Serenite Culinary Institute. Todd, what are the kind of contact information? Where can we find out more about you, about Serenite? Give us some information there, and maybe people will reach out.
Yeah, me personally, I'm on LinkedIn pretty big.
Hmm.
My name is Todd Whitman. Send me an invite. You could see, I do a lot of posting on there. It's a professional page. We do a lot of private dining, catering here, offsite here at the restaurant. But Serenity Restaurant, you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, or go up on our website. And if you want to get involved, you could come here and eat, or give us a call at 1-330-952-2611. And if you're looking to help somebody in recovery or looking for recovery resources, our recovery center number is 330-952-2612. Help get somebody. We got meetings, we got positive things that go on. We do a bunch of different stuff, here for the community. Yeah, so follow us on our pages. We do a lot of cool different stuff. Like I said, our catering and our private dining has really picked up. And I that was one of my goals in the last 2 years, to build that up. And we do a lot of it now. Offsite too. We got a catering van now too as well. So we're on the go. We've done big, weddings, catering, up to a couple hundred people. So give us an opportunity and a chance, to create a special custom catering menu for you, or you could come in here and support us at the restaurant and go up on the website and look at our reviews. Open Table on our website, Yelp, they're pretty good, and it took a lot of hard work to get those good reviews, and we strive to, give everybody a 5-star experience and meal every time, wherever it is.
Folks, I'm going to vouch for Serenity Restaurant, Serenity Culinary Institute, because I've seen what they've done. If you're looking like Chef Todd said, if you need a catered event or a private event, you can do that anywhere. You can get great food anywhere. There's no shortage, and I encourage you to support every possible opportunity out there. But if you give a chance to Serenity, you're giving a chance to people, and there's just no. I mean, this is purpose under pressure, and that's what they're delivering. And I highly suggest that you reach out to Serenity and see if you can kind of next time you do some food, do it on purpose. because it does make a difference. And I'll also vouch for Chef Todd. Todd, I know you don't like people talking about you, but I'll tell you this, you're the real deal. And there's a lot of people that talk a lot, and there's a lot of people that have accomplished a lot, and they're proud of it and they want to talk. But I will tell everyone that's listening that you feel this to the soles of your shoes, this willingness and desire and gratefulness in order to help others, that I wish I had. And as good as life as I have, man, I just don't see it the way you do. And I'm a little bit this much jealous, because whatever you see is bright and beautiful. And I really, really do appreciate it. And thank you for sharing that vision with us.
Thank you. It's an honor. I appreciate you, Bryan. And, congratulations on your success in your 7th year, and keep trudging forward, and bless you and your guest and your family. Thank you. This was a really cool opportunity to share who I am. And I'd like to thank you, for you and your listeners. I really appreciate everything. Thank you.
Well, thank you. So that's Chef Todd Whitman, Purpose Under Pressure Defined. He's the executive chef at Serenite Culinary Institute, and we are thrilled that he was guest number 1 on season number 7 of the Purpose Under Pressure podcast. It's brought to you by Sandler by the Ruby Group. Sellers are under pressure to perform, and Sandler helps you to succeed on purpose. You'll find all past episodes, 6 more seasons worth if you do some digging, of Purpose Under Pressure at bryanmediastrategies.com/podcast and wherever you stream your favorite shows. We do this every week, and we will see you next time on Purpose.